So, Antonio, how are you, my friend?
I'm excited, Ricardo. Ricardo, excited. We've been working on a couple of things that it's been a bit of a dream, and keep working together and keep expanding the community, and seeing that we have more than 2,000 people registered, it just makes me so happy. So I'm excited. I'm very happy to be here with you and with our friends from around the world.
Yeah, and for those who missed our first edition last month, this is absolutely informal. Okay, so this is not an scripted presentation. So I have some topics I want to share with you. Antonio has others. So one thing I want maybe to kick off with, it's what is in my mind in AI in the past 30 days. Okay, so one of the first things that I noticed, and for me it's becoming so clear, it's that big AI companies are becoming bigger, okay, and there is a consolidation in the marketplace. So what does this mean for us as project managers? Is that probably I would say, I'm almost sure that tools like ChatGPT with the new version, the 4.0, are becoming so powerful and with so much knowledge that it's becoming very hard for any other tool to compete with them, okay, in terms of quality. We discussed this, Antonio, in our last call, we both, is that probably they have read everything that the world has published in terms of project management, all topics, all content. So you can ask them now, for example, what was unthinkable 1 year ago. Now we can see. So what do I see? I see that these platforms like ChatGPT, like Gemini, or like Claude, 3, 4, 5 platforms, they will just dominate pretty much everything on this. And there is, and now just to give you an idea, I read about a week ago, the biggest challenge today for them to develop new tools, new models, for example, GPT-5 and so on, it's that there is no human-made data for them to extract, to train. Let me repeat that. There is no, for example, they already got everything. They already got everything that was published. So it's so crazy to say this, because it's something like they already read all possible books, all possible articles, all possible videos, all possible transcripts. So this is for me a super big trend, and this we will see. I'm not saying, again, as I said, honestly, I don't know if this is good or bad, but this is just the reality we need to face in, is that we will have to rely on this 4 or 5 to do pretty much everything, okay? Pretty much everything. Antonio, do you have any comment on that, or any other item that is in your
mind? I put together a few slides with a few topics, briefly, just to set the scene on topics that have been in my mind, in things that I've been working in the last month. So I wanted to share that briefly, Ricardo and everyone. So just bear with me 1 second. So three main topics that I came across, and I want to talk about. So you should be seeing my screen here. So first one is I've been more and more engaged in a tool that we launched a few, I think maybe 2 months ago, called Predictor. So this is not generative AI, this is Predictor. And I think that we see a lot of AI in generative, but there needs to be much more on the prediction side, machine learning, algorithms, training them. And I think especially for project management, there's nice to have the generative piece, but I think we need to see more and more on the prediction side. And this tool, what it's very nice about is that the way companies, I've noticed, and Ricardo, you tell me later, but the way companies choose and select the projects they're going to invest, it's a process which is maybe 50 years old. it doesn't use any technology. We're doing business cases that we put in a spreadsheet, and then we weight some criteria, and then you try to have some kind of ranking, which usually is very, very difficult. So we're using one of the most important steps in a project, which is deciding which one we do and which ones we don't do, still very old-fashioned, without technology. So I think that's where prediction, machine learning algorithms can play a big role. Also, the second point here, often it's the CEO or the loudest voice in the room who chooses the project, right? So it's just insane that today, in a world where everything is technology, in our profession, we don't use enough technology. So I think there's an opportunity. We have something here, Ricardo and I, and Professor Paul Baudron, that is starting to take place, and companies are testing to ask to test it. But I think we don't talk too much about this, but I see that as a very, very important tool for organizations to start using and develop their own kind of machine learning algorithms to check your projects, to do health checks in your projects, and not only generative, which is also very important. So these tools have been deeply trained. It's about a year of training. It's 500 projects, at least 94 criteria. So it doesn't take, it's not something that you can do in a week or so. This takes time, and you get results on the health check of your project. It can be a mega project, and you're still going on, but it's going to fail unless you take action. And also ranking. You see here a real ranking of 20 projects, and tells you the ones on the top, go ahead and do them, or continue. The ones on the bottom, don't even start them, or close them right away. You don't need to do much more, just close them. The added value that these tools will bring are amazing. We're talking about millions of dollars, millions of euros that AI tools around machine learning can bring to companies. So I'm very excited about this point, to share a bit and to open up this discussion around training algorithms in project management. What will they do? How can we train them? So I think opportunity is huge there. We've seen a lot of generative, which is great. I say savings of millions, billions even, for some companies. So that's one of the areas, Ricardo. I don't know if you have seen anything around here, but this is, for me, one of the most exciting parts that I've been involved.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the possibilities we see now are pretty much endless. Okay, I think that we have so many options and so many applications, and I would say so many benefits on improving our work and our workflow, that this, for example, predictor is just an amazing for you to try to predict before you commit, to know exactly what would be your chances of success. So this is exactly what a tool like this one. And this is just an example on one big application that we can see on this.
Yeah. Let me go through my the next two ones, and then I'll go back to you to make the announcements.
Sure.
I came across, and I know you're very close to Microsoft, but I think recently, 2 weeks ago, I found out, I read that all the tools that we use in Office will have AI very soon. It's being tested, the Copilot. So for me, it was new. And I checked for a video that they have, and I wanted to share the small video. It's 2 minutes and a half with everyone, because I know we're all users of this tool, most of us. And imagine in a week or two, in a month, you'll have all this integrated. So it's going to revolutionize our day-to-day for sure. And I'll let you speak to that. I have a small video I wanted to share quickly here. Let me share the YouTube channel. It's going to be easier. But again, I think this is going so fast, to your point, Ricardo, and Microsoft being AI, it's huge that we can see impact right away. Let me just get to the video and I'll share just a couple of minutes. But I thought, wow, this is going to be a revolution. Share screen, 1 second. Coming here.
Introducing Microsoft 365 Copilot, your Copilot for work. Copilot combines the power of large language
Sorry, I'm going to put the
models with your data in the Microsoft Graph and the Microsoft 365 apps to turn your words into the most powerful productivity tool on the planet.
Is coming to life in the products millions of people use and rely on every day. Let's see how Copilot can use your customer notes in OneNote as well as another internal document. Copilot quickly creates a first draft. You can turn your Word document into a PowerPoint presentation that you can hone and polish. Let's jump into Copilot in Excel. You start by asking Copilot to analyze the data and give you 3 key trends. Within seconds, you've got what you need. Triage your inbox, highlighting the most important emails to prioritize. You can draft a reply using data from an Excel file, and Copilot will generate a reply for you.
The real magic of Copilot happens during a live meeting. You can ask Copilot to summarize what's happened so far. You can see who said what points were made. You can follow a meeting and catch up to see what you missed, even if you can't attend.
I want to show you an entirely new standalone experience. Business Chat works across all your emails, files, meetings, chats, documents, calendar, and more to turn all your data into knowledge.
Now let's imagine you're working on your business strategy. You ask Copilot to pull up quarterly projections and identify related risks. Copilot gives you key data points and flags potential issues.
We're deeply committed to listening, learning, and adapting with speed to help create a brighter future of work for everyone with AI.
I was almost dropping off my chair when I saw this video.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think. I know you're close to AI.
Antonio, you need to turn off your YouTube because we're
sorry.
okay.
So
Yeah,
you're close to Microsoft, but when I saw this, and we all use all these tools all the time. So it was just insane because it's within the same ecosystem. I think the privacy security issue maybe that we have with OpenAI and others maybe is tackled there. So I thought, wow, this is going to go heads on, a big thing for us.
Yeah. Antonio, I would just kindly ask you to share the YouTube link with in the chat, because some people said that they were not able to watch it here. So just to share with them. But I would say, and I want to take one question after seeing this, that one of the attendees asked it. It's talking about Get. The biggest get even bigger. What happens to Apple and Amazon? Have they lost already? Oh God, this is a super tricky question because they are big and they are competing. What we see is that, just to give you an idea, even Apple, that is a $3 trillion company, is now using, and there is, of course, this was not officially announced by Apple, that they will use OpenAI to power the next version of iPhone and iPad. So it means that they don't see that they are able to compete and come up. And this, I'm talking about companies where money is just irrelevant, I would say, for this type of company. So I think that there is a consolidation, but I don't think that Apple and Amazon is out of the game. What I think, Yeti, sadly, is that many other smaller companies will face a massive challenge to get into that. Did you see that PwC last week joined forces with OpenAI to provide, because they were thinking about they would be able to develop a large language model and they cannot afford. So imagine if PwC was not able to do that. So imagine, I would say, normal people with normal lives, trying to develop this. So it's a big challenge. And also, Antonio, if you allow me, on the same note of the Copilot, what you saw there, it's I would say an embryo what we are talking about the next trend. As I said about big AI, it's what we call multimodal AI. It means that you will talk and receive information. So you will record a video. For example, I will record a video giving instructions to ChatGPT to do a work for me. And then ChatGPT will return the work. For example, ChatGPT today can hear and answer to you, to your voice. So for example, you can do, and what we believe, it will be something like this. You will press the button, this will do soon. Press the button and say, for example, on Apple, hey Siri, I need you to do that. And Siri will go on ChatGPT, will generate that and will create, for example, an email message, or will create something in the calendar, or will email someone, but in a completely different experience of what we have today. So, for example, and this drives me to another point that I want to share with you. I released last week an article about artificial emotional intelligence. And this is a topic that I am absolutely passionate about. How, and this goes back, and I'm already trying to answer the question from Herbert. What is your opinion about real intelligence fits in AI? And in my 30 years, I have found that without investing in real intelligence, project success isn't possible. And this is something that I agree with you, but my understanding is being challenged all day. For example, today, there is a massive development on using machine learning to capture emotions. It means I am now talking to you, and you will see on your side, for example, on a Zoom call, saying, Ricardo is happy with what you said. No, Ricardo is not happy. You are not convincing Ricardo, or you are convincing. So imagine the power of analyzing this and combining this. This is massive. If this becomes a reality, and my honest opinion, this will become very soon. Very soon, I mean, by the end of this year. It's not by the end of 2030. And what will happen, Antonio? We'll do a Zoom call. For example, it can be an interview, and I will see on your side saying, Antonio is in doubt. No, yeah. Antonio is not happy. Antonio wants to leave. Imagine this. And I'm doing some pilots and tests on this. And this is a massive, because this has, on the positive side, on the positive, it has, for example, ways to help you to tailor the training to different people or different students, to work with a traumatic and psychological situation in a hospital. But at the same time, this is such a big challenge for privacy, right? For privacy, imagine if I try to discover what is underlying. And of course, look, I'm not saying that these tools will be perfect, but they are improving. I did some tests this week, and it's surprising, because I tried to mimic something, and it was capturing that type of mimic. And this is something that would change completely what we understand in terms of technology being able to capture. For example, today, you can take some photos and you can ask the mood of the people on the photo. You can, for example, do a meeting with an investor and see that. So this is something that I see as a super big trend. And I wrote this, and on this month, on the 20th, if you are a member of PMI, we will do a webinar talking only about that. So PMI members can join. I will send you the link soon here on the chat, so you can, all PMI members are free to join us on this discussion. And honestly, I don't know what to expect on that. I don't know, every single day on this emotion side, because one of the things I talk most, Antonio, is that project management is not an exact science. It's not like mathematics. Project management involves negotiation, involves crisis management, people management, interest. And if you are able to have a tool like this one that could predict that or give you good insights on that, this can be a whole new game for you. For example, imagine if you're receiving a status report and you know, oh, maybe he or she is lying or not saying the truth. So imagine if this becomes true. So it's an absolutely breakthrough. And I think this is another trend we need to take a look on.
Great.
Antonio, back to you.
I love the topic, and you can see that people can play the human aspects are being like becoming a priority. Often we didn't see like a big priority, but with AI, I come across a lot of questions about that and the emotions. So I'm really excited to see, excited and scared, right? So it's also something that we don't know how this is going to evolve. I have one more point I wanted to share, and then we can go into the Q&A, maybe make the announcement. So one question I have all the time is, but then what can we automate with AI? So I made a small matrix here, and we can share this based on the complexity of the task of the project and need for human judgment. So it's just something that I built, and and it's just a simple, it's not perfect, but at least to get some orientation. So if the low on the left, low human judgment and low complexity, this will be done by AI. So that there's no doubt. If it's high human judgment and low complexity, we still need to participate, but we can use some AI. That's what I call AI augmentation, but still human. High complexity, low human judgment, we'll need to have AI to help us to clarify the prediction as well. I think that's when we look at prioritizing 1,000 projects. It's super important. And then high human judgment, high complexity, driven by us. So I think this matrix, it can help you to get some visibility. I'm going to publish a bit around this because I think people need some guidance on what can you look for automation, what can you focus on developing yourself and becoming an expert on this on the human side. So as part of the slides, I went a bit deeper. So just building a bit of we're going to be talking about this in the masterclass, by the way. So I know some of you have already joined the masterclass end of June, but it's a point I wanted to go deeper. I think this is a tool that will help a lot of people to know whether this project management tasks will need to look for an AI solution, or this one is where we need to focus our human brains and interventions and what to do. AI tools will be available also for the human high complexity, high judgment, but they will not be taking the lead and doing the work. So just an extra input. So just a small highlight for what we're going to be covering in a couple of weeks, Ricardo. This was the other thing that I've been thinking, and I want to publish on this, is help people to make decisions on how to use AI best and where to focus as human beings. Okay.
Great. That's fantastic. I'm seeing the feedback of people saying that they love the visual. Remember, these will be shared, so you can watch this again in order to take the note of the tools. And this, but also, Antonio, maybe you want, because we have two announcements we want to share with you. Again, if you go back to February last year, when we published the article on HBR, we said that we want to create a community. And I'm super, super happy when we see people joining, when we see people connecting here, when we see such a huge audience interested for this topic. So on the way of trying to get moving with that, maybe, Antonio, you want to talk about the lab. So maybe you can spend a couple of minutes sharing with us. Let me just show you, Antonio. Before you show, if you can allow me, just 1 second.
Yeah.
I just want to show this. So it's nice. the logo of one of our initiatives that we want to share with you. It's also part of the umbrella of the project management revolution. Last year, we published the report that you all saw have access for free at the web. We did series of live webinars, the articles, and the masterclass that is going now to the 5th edition. And now we are launching the Venture Lab. So Antonio, ball to you to explain the Venture Lab.
So yeah, here's a small summary. I will put in the chat we can put the link that you have, but also a brochure. And this is something that Ricardo and I have been talking about maybe two months. And it's already live, so we need to keep pushing. We need to go fast. But what I notice is that personally, I've been asked several times by different vendors or startups in tools, big ones, PPM players like Planisware, PlanView, Shiforma, all these big ones, but also small ones where I've been supporting and I've been advising. And what I thought is that there is a need for a platform, a startup platform, where both Ricardo and I can provide our knowledge, our contacts, access to clients, to shape solutions for the future. And there's nothing, this is the first time, this is a premiere in the world of project management to have a platform, a venture lab, to get ideas, to bring ideas to us, and together brainstorm our early startup phases from your companies for your ideas to help together, to work together, to set up a ecosystem or startups around project management. You know, there's trillions in this space of projects, and there was something missing. And so I'm very, very excited, Ricardo, that we managed to put this in place in a record time. I think the added value, we've been already supporting many tools. Personally, we have developed tools in AI, PMO, Predictor, so we're not new to this space, and we're very excited. So anyone that is watching and or has friends or needs some platform support, knowledge, a bit of funding, please just reach out. I think we can make this very, very excitement. Any thoughts here, Ricardo?
Yeah, no, this for me is also a dream. I don't know if you all know, but on the side of project management, I also work quite a lot with venture capital, and so we try to say, you know, sometimes it's very hard for us to navigate on this environment. So the idea is that how we can join forces and create some super innovative, cool ideas in using AI that could leverage. And this is the way to help people to really move to that. And also it's something like that will use not only our knowledge, but mainly our connections, the people we know, and the approach to really open the doors to the market to this. Of course, we have, Antonio, will not, if you go to the PM AI Revolution now, it's already live, and we have some criteria because, of course, we don't have time to do everything. So there are some criteria for you to join, but we're more than happy to discuss some ideas of tools, techniques, processes that we can leverage and scale up to you on specifically on AI, not only on generative AI, but the use of artificial intelligence to benefit projects.
Exactly. Thank you, Ricardo. And then you see the network that we're building. So there's more than 2,000, 3,000 people who can be users, potential users, people who can. So I think that the benefit and the fact that there's nothing similar. And yes, I don't think the big players will come, and they're more into other topics. So I think this is good for the community. So I'm very, very, very happy that we made it yesterday night. I don't know, it was 1 a.m. to have everything ready.
Yeah, we got this absolutely ready to be released and shared with all of you today. So this is already working, and it's networking, it's expertise, it's the global platform, and funding. Okay, and funding. So this is the platform we are trying. So we want to see really great things happening in the upcoming years on that. Okay, Antonio already shared the link, and if you go to PM AI Revolution, you can see that there too. One thing I want to talk.
Ricardo, one goal that I think we should put, we need to see the first unicorn in 12 months in this space.
That will be
1 billion.
That will be
That's the target.
That will be really, really nice. And and one thing that people say why we are so passionate, because we both are passionate about transforming the industry, transforming. And really, we truly believe through our careers that project management can be massive, okay, in terms of impact on how we drive society, how we make the society better, make money, and improve lives. So this is why we are very happy to do that. On another thing, I want, before I make the second announcement, I want just to talk about one other topic that several questions I saw here are about legal side, ethics, and this. And again, this is a super complex environment. For example, when I said about capturing emotions in this, so there are several legal challenges on that. But what I see today is that, my impression is that sometimes there is a land of nowhere in some points. People just do things, make them public, and then they try to sort out. For example, yesterday that was raised a big antitrust case against the super big techs. So we truly do not know. But my humble opinion here is that I think that people are just doing things and then later caring if these things are legal or ethical or this. And this is a big, big danger. And one of the things I talk most is how we can have a responsible AI on that, because the development of technologies open new possibilities that could be a breakthrough, but at the same time could be an extremely big risk. For example, if you produce knowledge, okay, for more than you lock the options for these large language models to not capture your information. Look, I have my doubts, honestly, if this is true. I have my doubts, Antonio, if your books are not there or are there, because my personal opinion, absolutely in a humble way, is that they are there. They are there. Okay, and like everything else, it will be hard for us to prove. And this is an ethical dilemma that we need to see how the society will evolve. Okay, and this is something that is super important for us to think about that on privacy in this, because I think we are living in a different world today. Okay, for example, I will record your video on YouTube, for example, Ricardo video on YouTube, and I will say the mood of Ricardo when he was recording, or I can understand, for example, his behavior, his aspects. So, I don't know up to what point this will be ethical or not, but it's something that we really need to think on the human side. I don't have an answer. I have a lot of questions on that. Okay, Timur, do you think that in the near future, AI can replace PMs? Look, I posted yesterday on LinkedIn and social media talking about it depends on what you think a PM does. If a PM compile projects, or if a project manager, Antonio, using Predictor, a project manager does this analysis on Excel or do that, then probably Predictor will do this 1,000,000 times faster and 1,000,000,000 times more effective. Sure. So for this type of project manager or a project management office, then the challenge will be there. And this is why we need to revisit what a project manager is and what is the role. Because the role of the project management, if we move towards more the human-centric approach of project management, then we'll become more resilient to AI, because AI will do many of the tasks. For example, you will be able, look, I have no doubt. In 1 year from now, you will be able to do a prompt or to record saying, please create a project for me that will have 3 phases and these and that. Please imagine what type of resources do I need to each of them. Prepare this and create a PowerPoint. I will record like that. And then suddenly there is a full schedule, critical path, everything analyze it at my fingerprints in something like 30 seconds. I truly believe. What I don't believe is that in 1 year from now, the project AI will be able to solve the problem and say, look, I have a problem with this and that. Please go there and explain to the supplier that if he or she do not deliver on time, I will not finish the project. Go there and convince. Then I think is where we will have the chance and we will deliver the value. This is my humble opinion on all of that.
I love that we make ourselves these questions. I think the project management profession has been very much inward focused for the time I know it. And I think one of our goals is to think outside the box. That's where we'll bring added value. We need to reinvent this profession. Clearly, AI is going to be one of the big disruptors that I think there's Ricardo and I were pushing to rethink project management. I call it modern project management. We're moving into hybrid methods. We've done research, very soon will be published, but also I posted the other day one LinkedIn article saying, I saw that people are working on the one-person unicorn. One person can make a company on $1 billion, just one person. And it made me think, can we run a project of a digital transformation with one person only? So related to the comments of Ricardo, I think we don't know the answers, but the good thing is that we're asking these questions, right? And together we'll find solutions, will come maybe from outside the project management industry. But I think I'm very happy to see these questions pumping up now, which was not the case before. So that makes me really, really happy. Should I take one question from here?
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Christoph, how do you anticipate organizations can prevent this generative capability from creating too many long documents that nobody can read anymore? I can see strengthen a document more if in doubt. I think that's a risk, Christoph. I think you don't know today if you receive an email, if you receive a paper or a power, you don't know if that's been done by AI or not. And I think that's something that it's going to be something changing. I think we'll need to, I think some of the social media already are tagging. If the content is done by AI, you'll have a tag saying this has been generated by AI. I think most likely will happen with work and documents that we create. So I don't know what are the limitations. I think for me, the AI is more a summarize tool that can you PDF of 100 pages, you get a summary. So instead of creating more content, for me, is more a tool to reducing the time we spent on administrative manual tasks so that we can focus on more added value, Christoph. So trying to answer from my point of view. So that's my answer, Christoph.
Perfect, Antonio. So now it's time to do our second announcement.
Big announcement.
This was also one desire we had. So we tried to test and to think a little bit more. And one of the questions that people ask it's how we can I would say create something that gives some type of endorsement on people that are really able to work with AI in the project management sector. So what we did, it's Antonio, my APMG, and myself. So we decided to create a certification program, okay? An AI-driven project management revolution certification. So it will be an AI project manager. And this is not a Ricardo and Antonio credential, okay? This is a credential with APMG that takes the lead certification on change management. Also, APMG was the certification body of Prince2 and MSP for something like 20 years, okay? 20 years at the time at the UN. So we did that. So we partnered with our dear friend, Richard Farrell, to create this. And this will be an exam, okay? I want just to highlight with you, it's already available on the website, the information. So it will be an exam of 50 questions, okay? That will cover different aspects of the knowledge on AI, the knowledge on the trends, legal implications, and everything. And this will, the package, so because both Antonio and I, we have very limited availability, so we are bundling a content for people to study. So when people join the certification program, they will have access to hours of videos, training, literature, research, white papers, a link for tools and this, so they can at their own pace learn the content, and then they apply and they go to APMG to get to that, okay? To get this certification, we will release, okay, the opening registrations for the pilot. We are aiming to release that the registration for the pilot by next week, okay? By next week. And we are aiming by the end of June, early July, to run our first batch of certifications. And then, okay, based on this initial feedback of this pilot, we will tailor and deliver, I would say, from everybody by early September. Okay, so this is our timeline. We are already developing it, and we want just to highlight this because we really think that this could be something helpful for you to prove on that. And Christian and several people are asking, how do I join the certification? So what I would do, it's Antonio and I. Next week, I will share the link with the form, okay? We decided not to share the link today for the form on the website because we want just to make the final tests on this weekend to release this probably Monday or Tuesday, where you apply. We don't know if we will be able to accept everyone on the pilot. So then as soon as we have this, we are doing. We are now on the middle of the process of crafting the questions, okay, and creating the database. So we'll hope to finish this very soon. But this also, again, it's one initiative that we really want to start driving people towards that. And this will be an online exam through APMG that you can do at your home and do that. And we are trying also to partner with other big players on this field to see how we can incorporate on that. Like I'm saying, like the Google Project Management credential, like the Microsoft AI credential. So we are trying to bundle this and see how these will look like. So stay tuned because this will happen very soon, okay? Probably by next week, people will be able to put their names forward for the pilot. Antonio, anything to add on that?
Oh, I'm excited. I think this is, again, one of these ideas that we discussed a few times, and then we just get in and do it and use our contacts, and they trust us, and we just build new. I think this is just added value. My reflection, there's several reflections. First, you know, we are very PMI. We love PMI, PMP, the Prince2. These are 30 years old certifications. And my thinking is, are they going to last forever? You know, I hire people, you hire people. Are we going to look for somebody with a PMP plus AI, or are we going to look for AI with some project management? Because the certification that we're developing is not just AI tools. This is how we see project management with AI. We want to build the people that you can send to a company and say, I know how to use AI, I know how to manage a project and combine them, right? So it's not how to use ChatGPT only, it's how to integrate that. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to move forward with this with Ricardo is, I don't know, everything changes so fast. What will be the next PMP Prince2? Is going to flip into more tools, AI, and then with modern project management concepts? I think so. So that's what we wanted to pilot to start with. The other thing that I want to highlight is we are still going to have the masterclass. Ricardo and I will try to have one per quarter. It's very difficult to get even just one day with us, but I think the added value of having us live and discussing, it's going to be needed. But of course, we want to reach more people for the certification. So we're going to build a small online course that will help you to get prepared for the exam, right? So you cannot go and do the exam without having been trained. It's just you're going to not pass it. So there's a few developments that we are doing so that we build the platform. And this, what I like from Ricardo and I, we have that very much aligned, is this platform content will be curated as well. Doesn't need to be from Ricardo and me only. We can see things that are interesting coming there and there. So it's going to be an evolving, dynamic content, bringing the basis. And not only AI, that we were talking about topics about emotional intelligence. We're talking about many other things. So I think that's the vision that we have, is building that platform for certification, career advancement, community, which I'm very, very excited, Ricardo, and everyone. So I'm so amazing news on the feedback here.
Yeah, and thank you for all the feedback from people. But also, I want just to address some of the questions here. Cindy, hi Cindy, wonderful seeing you. How these relate to your AI cohorts? So look, as Antonio said, we have one cohort now in June, and Antonio and we could not find another date for the second semester because I don't have any date, and Antonio has no date. So we are struggling to find another. So there is a risk that these next masterclass will be the last one this year, or maybe we'll do one at the end of the year. But the masterclass will continue with the masterclass. We are trying to figure out how we'll position the masterclass with the certification. Probably people will be able to something like register for the masterclass plus the certification, just the masterclass, and we will do something for the previous masterclass students. So this is, everything is under discussion. So of course we want to offer everybody on the previous masterclasses the opportunity to do that. Okay, so this is exactly what we are thinking now. I don't have an answer today to you, but we will do that. And you asked how this related to APMG AI Essential. The essential course of APMG is a generic AI course. We want to do something that is specifically for us. And do you know how we are, I would say, marketing it? It's from practitioners to practitioners. So it's something that Antonio and I would put a lot of thought as project managers to create something that will be valuable for this universe of professionals. So this is the idea. But look, stay tuned. Also, one thing, Jazine asked, I expect PMI will introduce an AI PM course quite soon. What do you think? I think it's fantastic. And look, I think Pierre and his team are doing an now I'm talking, just taking off my hat and talking as a PMI fellow and Antonio. I think PMI is doing a brilliant work, and this is helping dramatically our society. And this is what I expect, not only from PMI, but also from IPMA, from AACE, from Scrum Alliance, from Scrum, from everybody, because the wave that is coming is so big that we need to be prepared for that. Antonio, I want just
Ricardo, I agree on the PMI. I think they're doing an amazing job, and
amazing.
I want to praise Pierre, Duncan, the whole team, and the people are friends. And I don't think there's competition here. I think we're all trying the same.
Absolutely.
We have, maybe we're smaller, but maybe we have a bit more agility. But what they've done in a year is remarkable. So yeah, really great job there from our side.
And what we expect is that we see this happening everywhere. It's like when people are writing books and they say, look, please do that. Please do that, because what I see is that the wave that is coming is big. Trust me, is big. And if we are not prepared, you know, it will be hard for us, okay, to benefit from that. And I think this is the biggest chance we have on that. Antonio, I want just to make one quick announcement, and this is one thing. For the June masterclass, we also yesterday, this was everything yesterday, we decided to create a special, because these will be probably the last one. So if you want to register for the masterclass, so we created a coupon with 20% off. That this is just to remember, okay, these masterclass, it's not, honestly with you, it's not a business for Antonio and for us. Most of the revenue I make from the masterclass goes to my scholarship on the online school, but this is something that we really want to impact people. So we have several people that already attended here on the chat, and so we decided, because I know it's not easy to afford, so we created this. And the next masterclass will be June 26th and 27th. We do not have a specific date for the following one, okay? We will probably have one only at the end of the year. So this is the chance that for you to register with this discounted rate. So, and this will last until June 17th at the end of the day, Pacific time. Antonio, something on your side?
No, I think, again, if you've not been able to join us, try to join us. I think the value for money is guaranteed. I think the feedback we've received is amazing. You'll have access also to previous keynote speakers, videos. We had Pierre, we had Lenka, Mark Esposito. So there's a lot of wealth and knowledge there, plus the community. I think being together for a day with 40, 50, 60 people, there has been already some really interesting connections outside us. So again, I know it's a commitment, but I think we really take a lot of care of giving you the best we can during those 2.5 days. And like you said, Ricardo, I'm not sure will be the next one. I think we'll need to keep doing this, but it's a challenge to find the time. But yeah, so that's all what we can say about the masterclass. So we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
You will hear from us very soon about the certification. I know people got really excited. And the next step will be the registration for the pilot, and that, so we'll see what we can do. So we are trying to move as fast as we can. Remember just one thing, we don't have 400 employees working for us doing that. So it's it's really, we were wrapping up this information yesterday at 1 a.m. my time. Okay, 1 a.m. my time. We were wrapping up and saying, "Oh, what do you do here?" And this. So this is the way we operate. So look, thank you all very, very much. We have more than 70 questions. So Antonio and I will record a quick webinar just addressing the questions you made. Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your time, okay? For those participating on the masterclass, we're looking forward to see you soon. And let's stay tuned. The Venture Lab and the certification will be very nice. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, my friend. Stay well.
We'll get back to you with the questions, so they're not thrown. We just make a video and we'll share through LinkedIn.
Yes, we will do that. Thank you all very much.